watched this one. Oh boy. I think this may be a call that I think in general we should stop asking for reboots and remakes, because if we do, out-of-touch executives, can't speak, they will cash in on the idea and make it into a horrible shit stain or shit storm that looks like this. Ooh, what happened to kids content? Whew. You know, I'm gonna sound like a boomer with this, but back in my day, the original Backyardigans, it may not have been visually 100% appealing, but it was definitely much better than we have today. Executives don't know what appealing to children means, because they think Cocomelon is the first thing that comes to mind. And I have no idea why they're hopping on this bandwagon where they want to Cocomelonize literally everything. Because every time, and I'm saying this, every time people ask for a reboot and a remake, out-of-touch executive would actually cash in, but ruin the idea. Guys, come on, can we stop asking for remakes? At this point, no, those old people just don't know what they're doing. They're gonna ruin the series. And just for example, Little Einsteins. You guys want that to come back? Do not ask for that to come back, because an out-of-touch executive would attempt that, but it would fail miserably. We are apparently living in a time where these out-of-touch people just don't know what they're doing, and they just ruin everything they touch. They ruin everything for money, and that is just sad. I prefer the old version. You know, a lot of people do, but there's also this argument where it's supposed to cater to kids, and that's actually really understandable to make it more appealing. But why does it have to be this way? Why can't it be the old version? Like, why couldn't they make it that way and stuff? And not only that, why can't kids nowadays at this point they accept anything, I guess. So no need to make it visually cutesy. Because back then, when I was growing up, none of that was cutesy. Actually, it was in between safe for kids and made for adults, like made for any age. But now we're living in a time where these executives are just babyfying everything, and it's so annoying. That trend has been going on for ages. Like, grow the fuck up. These old people I just don't like this babyfying everything trend. It's very annoying, and usually when this happens to a series that's quote unquote coming back, I don't believe that anymore. It usually is just ruined. It's not the same anymore. It's ruined, and it's supposed to cater to Gen Alpha, which, by the way, we're fucked. Like, we're honestly fucked at this point, because Gen Alpha is just screwed over in many ways, and the future's looking pretty bleak for the next generation, especially when shit like this caused by out-of-touch executives happen. I can't say executives correctly because my brain is not braining right now, probably because I just woke up. But I just don't see how babyfying everything appeals to children. Although at this point it probably does, because thanks to Cocomelon, the fucking, ever since Cocomelon happened, these out-of-touch executives are like, ooh, that worked. Let's try it. Every time. Every single darn time. Some old series that people want to bring back, it gets brought back, not in the way that anyone expected, not in the way that everyone likes. Because apparently these out-of-touch people just don't know what their fans want. They do not know. And they're really confused and stuff. So I think what happened here is because Backyardigans is a kids channel, they did bring it back, but for Gen Alpha. That's what's going on here. And this will happen to every single kids channel. Back then, all these out-of-touch executives will bring it back and Cocomelon it. That's what's going to happen. And that's what kids are going to watch these days. Even though the shows back then were completely fine, these executives just want to Cocomelon everything. Because it worked for Cocomelon, right? That tactic was so manipulative, it worked. And that's what these companies are trying to achieve. And that is so messed up in so many ways, because how can you trust any company at this point? How could you know they're manipulative or anything? It's like, run a company without being manipulative challenge. 100% impossible. Like, Jesus Christ, why does everything have to be about money? Everything has to be about money. Because these greedy old people, we're already living in a country, basically, we're living in a country where it's controlled by these greedy old people. Our American system is so broken on many levels that the government is like sucking us dry. It's sucking us dry because of inflation that should have been controlled. And let's add on to that, right? Let's add on to it where every single kid's entertainment video or series gets Cocomelonified. And it makes it so unappealing to their old fans that they leave and lose trust in the company. Oh, and let's not forget greedy business decisions that usually happen on a daily fucking basis. I have no idea why this Cocomelon babyfying shit is a trend. I have no idea why laziness is a trend. I have no idea why out-of-touch executives are a trend at this point. But it needs to fucking stop. But at the end of the day, no matter what I say, that rhymed, it won't stop. Because these out-of-touch executives, there's only one thing they're staring at. And it's just one big piles of money. And these executives only see you as a wallet. So go ahead and trust these companies if you want. And go ahead and tell them to remake your old childhood series. But at the end of the day, it will get remaked. Not in the way you expected, because this has happened so many times. I can't believe people are still asking for a remake or something like that, a reboot. Because at this point, the word remake and reboot has been ruined by all these greedy companies. And it happened way too many times, and at this point, I'm giving up on remakes and reboots. But luckily, there is some cases that remakes and reboots actually are good terms, because there's some remakes and reboots that actually are good. But, that rarely happens nowadays. It rarely fucking happens because the soul and creative juices have been sucked out because these out-of-touch people are in command of that company now. Because that company sold out to another company. That company that they sold out to, they're so out of touch with the original company. This has happened to Roblox. This has happened to Minecraft. This has happened to YouTube. This has happened to literally everything. Because shareholders, one of them, I heard Vanguard and BlackRock are responsible for this shithole that we're currently in right now. And honestly, fuck them. I hope they get sued eventually. I hope they stop being a shareholder eventually, because they are not good shareholders. They've been ruining everything. But all I'm going to say is that we are in a pretty deep pit of just not creative shit. Like, we have the incapability to be creative anymore, because we live in a time where oversimplification and these money-made decisions that made everything so much more boring than it is now. Because trust me when I say this, I lived through the 2000s, and my God, the degrading factor or the degrading state of creativity has been prominent over time. And the fact that what chills me to the bone is that kids are growing up in this boring time. Kids are going to have a boring, stale childhood. And I feel so bad for the kids who are growing up at this time, who are going to be Gen Alpha. Because not only their minds are just filled with skibbity shit, but they're just gonna look at companies that it's just gonna be really boring. It's not gonna be memorable. Because money, that's why. Money. Money, 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 money. It always has to be money, not about the customers. Oh my god, why? What? Okay, you know what? I just said what I needed to say. Because these companies just never change. They're all stupid. They all care about money. It just infuriates me. They make stupid-ass decisions because some old guy is so out of touch. I just can't believe... This has happened way too many times. I'm tired of this shit. Thank you all so much for listening to my rant. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.